February the 4th. It's on again, the annual trial between the Brisbane Broncos and the BMD Wynnum Seagulls. We are at BMD Cougar Eye Oval. The chook pen is full. We're excited. It's going to be a crackerjack game. Last year the Broncos put 50 on the Seagulls. I don't think it'll happen this year. I could be wrong. Joining me in commentary for... I missed him. Taylor Brown, welcome to you and that wildebeest you swallowed, mate. You're looking bigger this year. What's happening, mate?
Yeah, look, Christmas hurt and I didn't realise I was allergic to food, but it turns out I am. So I'm swollen up. But look, I'm really looking forward to today's match down here at Cougar Eye Oval. Of course, the Broncos fans looking forward to a big year. The Wynnum fans also looking for a big year. A couple of teams who didn't make the semis last season, so they'll be looking forward to get out of the blocks with a bang today and hopefully a really good showing for their coaches.
All right, well, we're going to take a couple of messages, and then we'll come back with the team list. Here it is. It's footy season, February the 4th. Stands are filling up. We can't wait. We'll be back shortly. Iconic BMD and the iconic BMD Cougar Eye Oval. Returns to BMD Cougar Eye Oval wearing the number 1. Talita and Gella Mosby, certainly got some wheels. Sim and Manu in the halves. Tony Pello comes over from East. Cole Iron Shoulders Foxwell from the West Brisbane Panthers will start at number 7. Martin Ollie Pascoe comes from East as well to lock this to a play hooker, and John Riddell. Now, John Riddell is named for the Broncos as well. He will play the first 25-minute stanza with the BMD Wynnum Seagulls. And the rest of the bench is Bailey Hartwick, Luke Gale, and Brodie Tamarua. And the bench, well, they're going to chuck them in from left, right, and centre. It's going to be a commentator's nightmare. James Robinson made his debut last year in the Host Plus Cup, and Darius Farmer also comes over from Eastern Suburbs. And so new coach Matthew Head. And he'll be excited about this start this afternoon. So looking at that side, Taylor Brown, a lot of new faces.
A lot of new faces. Yeah, Wynnum have recruited heavily in the off-season. I guess a bit of a reaction from missing the finals last year. You can see Matt Milson there, Gideon Gella Mosby, a couple of notable in the back line. You've, of course, got Tony Pello and Kyle Foxwell, a brand new set of halves. And number 9 in Ollie Pascoe, who's been a standout in the BRL competition over the last couple of years, makes the move over to Wynnum Manly, hoping to find some more game time here in the Host Plus Cup.
All right, and they take on the Brisbane Broncos. Kevy Walters has named a young and an exciting squad here. They've named 19 players. There have been a couple of changes to what you see on the screen here. Taylor, I'll let you go through with the 19 Bronx.
Yeah, at fullback Tristan Saylor, Israel Leota and James Johnson on the wings, Dean Mariner and Ethan Kwai Ward in the centres. Jack Ahern and Josh Rogers will be the halves for this afternoon. They are swapping jersey numbers though, so Ahern wearing the 7, Rogers wearing the 6. Logan Bayliss, Ben Takura will be the front rowers. And in between them will be Tyson Smoothie making the move from the Sunshine Coast Falcons. Brendan Fry will be one of the back rowers. Ben Piakura has actually been a late scratching and will not be in the back row there. Instead, they have Will Samuel starting, coming from the bench. Shalom Ofo is the lock. On the bench, Liam Horn, Jack Campagnolo, Jaden Morgan. John Riddell, of course, spending some time with Wynnum, and then will play for the Broncos. Tyrese Tate also a late scratching, bringing Tony Tamusa in from the Devils and Rory Ferguson from the South Logan Magpies.
Really excited about Tristan Saylor, mate. A little bit of a legend. His dad, obviously, Wendell Saylor here, playing at number 1, but with just Jack Ahern and Josh Rogers, mate, in the halves. Jack Ahern, outstanding last year, led the North Devils side to 2 premierships. He can play at 7, he can play at 1, but he's certainly an inspirational player. And Josh Rogers on the other side, that's a pretty good halves pairing, and Foxwell and company will be in a little bit of, they'll have the hands full.
Yeah, well, essentially it's the best 2 halves from last year in the Host Plus Cup with Rogers and Ahern. Rogers taking out 5/8 of the year for the Host Plus Cup, and Ahern leading the Devils to back-to-back premiership. So you could arguably say the 2 best halves in the Host Plus Cup last year against the young Foxwell and, of course, Tony Pello. So it'll be a very tough battle in those sort of scenarios. It'll be interesting to see how they play.
Jack Campagnolo also comes back to BMD Kiggery Oval where he was a few years ago when the Seagulls made the grand final. The Brisbane Broncos make their way out in the middle of BMD Kiggery Oval, and they look like they're going to run in from the western side. BMD Kiggery Oval, for those of you who don't know, runs from east to west. No sunshine here today to play havoc with the high ball, but certainly there's a big chook pen as you'd expect, but there's not much of a breeze here this afternoon. The Doughboy Doctor hasn't come in as yet this afternoon, Taylor Brown.
No, it hasn't. Look, I'm not going to lie. I thought we were going to get a little bit more water than we currently have today, but it does seem like it is going to hold off for the main game, which is interesting and great for fans. They're all lining up in the chook pen. I'm sure they'll be very vocal, as they always are. Probably keen to tear into some football after the long break.
Jack Ahern stands out because he's tall. As you can see on the, you mightn't see it on the screen there, but when we come back to the Broncos, they're lining up on the halfway line as we wait for the B&D Wynnum Seagulls, and a crowd is built. I'm glad it hasn't rained. Actually, he's driven a lot of people down here to the Bayside for this annual trial. Last year was, I mentioned at the start of the broadcast, that they put 50 on the Seagulls last year, but the 3 trials before that, both of them played at Kitchener Park. It was a closer encounter. I think it's 22 all on one of those occasions. As the BMD Wynnum Seagulls make their way out through the arches down where the old scoreboard used to be, and they're let out with the skipper. I'm just trying to work out who their skipper is, but they're going to line up here. I don't know where they are. Luke Gale coming in. He's the second man in the line. Josh Sims coming from England. He'll be feeling it a lot. He's actually got a bit of tan in the legs there. And they'll line up. As I said, you can pick Jack Ahern there, third from your right. Jack Campagnolo is the last man on the left-hand side.
Looks like we'll be stopping here for a minute of silence. So we'll have a short break and then come back following.
Yep.
A minute silence there for Jan Plath, a club icon. Always comes to the games, always is out here supporting the BND Wynnum Seagulls. And, well, Jack Ahern and Matt Milson, former teammates, had a bit of a cuddle on the way through. They've swapped ends here. The Broncos will kick off from the chook pen, right to left. So Nick Pelgrave will blow the whistle for the first 25 minutes. I spoke to Nick before the game here. I said, you're only doing 25 minutes. He says, yes, then I'll swap. I can't remember the name of the referee he's going to take over. But he said he's only have 11 players on each side to work with. Big Nick's going to send a few to the bin, he reckons.
Yeah, okay.
See how he goes.
A few early breaks in the trial matches. I like that.
So Sailor will get us underway here for the Broncos. This trial here at BMD Koogarai Oval, and Gales has to go back, and that will go dead in goal. I don't know whether Milson touched it, regardless. That will be a line drop out here, so not ideal.
I'll tell you what, that's a tough start if you're a Wynnum fan. It wasn't the best 2022. You'd be excited coming down to the match, and that's how we kick off. So a bit of a false start for the Seagulls.
So he'll have to restart, Milson. That one's going to land on just over the 40, goes end over end. So the Broncos, Rogers will throw a forward at the line here is with Bayliss, the South Logan Magpie Bayliss from last year, gets almost to the 30-metre line, centre of B&D Koogarai Oval. They go to the right-hand side and rock forward, and Ifu will drive 21 metres out, tackled there by Gale. Underneath the legs there's Tamaru. Come to the left-hand side, the Leagues Club side. Jack Ahern, first touch here, gets the short ball off in the hands of Roach, and Roach is tackled nicely there, 12 metres out from the try line. Still 3 tackles to go here. There's a short ball from Rogers, finds the hands there of Quade Ward. Bayless, standing at first receiver, gets the pop pass out the back here. Hint of a short knock on, but Pelgrave says play on, right underneath the sticks. 2 tackles left now here for the Broncos. Trying to capitalise on the Seagulls error from the kickoff. Sailor with a long pass out there. It's taken high above the head. Come back into the field of play. In the end there will Johnson, and Johnson will be pulled down 8 metres out from the try line. I don't know whether there was a sign of 6 more to go here, but Pelgrave says it's play on. And Ofa'u will get within 5. There must have been 6 to go somewhere in there, Taylor. Brownlee, and the big forward goes to Takuru. He's going to be denied by a metre. Gale the tackler.
Go. 3. Outside.
Play out the back. Sailor. Ball and all tackle from the captain in Manu. Stands in the tackle. Broncos. Mountain of possession. Dart from dummy half. Here he goes now to Smoothie. And Smoothie will score on the back of a weighted possession.
Here you can see Tyson Smoothie was threatening over the course of the last 2 attacking sets. There were a few opportunities here and there. He bid his time, and eventually it opened up right in the middle of the park. Handy little number 9 there, Tyson Smoothie, hooker of the year in the Host Plus Cup for 2022. Just as we look at the replay on the big screen at BMD, picks a spot in between the middlemen. Nick Pelgrave gives way, and it's a try. Well done there.
Yeah, just bashed over, had all the weight there and bounced a couple of Seagulls players off, and yeah, weighted possession. I didn't see the 6 to go again from Nick Pelgrave, so it was deep into the second tackle, set of 6, I should say. And the Broncos will open the account. They're going to kick for goal here, which for mine in trials, well, it gives them a bit of a chance. Palo playing for the Brisbane Tigers last year. He was outstanding at fullback, as I recall, and some of the games he played there. Nick Pello?
Yeah, Tony. Yeah, the young Pello. He's
Tony, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, you can see him talking to the troops behind the goal line there, trying to roll the Wynnum players up. Rogers comes in. He's handling the kicking duties for the Broncos. Heavily involved in the last set were the halves. Straight into their rhythm.
6-0. Broncos, well, the Seagulls yet to have the footy, and they're going to kick it back to the Broncos now. Yeah, it all came back to a poor gathering at the kickoff there. Milson unable to take control of footy. Luke Gale tried to get the ball back in hand before it went over the dead ball line here, but they got a restart, went to the 40 metre, and then it's all the Broncos. So Manu will get things underway. Sends that down into the in-goal area. Oh, I thought for a moment it was going to go too deep, but anyway, Sailor takes it inside 2 inches of BMD Cougar Eye Oval.
It's a good touch from Bayless. He's had a couple of touches early and a good offload as well.
Well, they're out to impress. You won't see anybody seagulling or having a bit of a bludge here. Tackle there was Foxwell. Flat ball. Comes up with an error there to Takura. Play on, says the referee. Great to see. Tamarua will be a dummy half.
Next one will be 0.
Back rower, Hartwig, gets within 20. Just want to settle. First time the Seagulls will have the footy. They're right in front of the chook bed. A flat pass here finds Tamarua again. He's going to be taken in a ball and all tackle. He'll stand, will he? 10 metres out, 20 metres out from the try line. Right in front here. Dummy half now is Ollie Pascoe. Goes to the left here with Foxwell. Foxwell hands Sim. Sim goes back in, and his first touch here all the way from England, and he's going to take that tackle 12 metres out from the try line. BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls. They stretched out to the right-hand side. Do they come that way through Pello? Pello takes to the line here. No look pass. Good stuff here from the Seagulls. Takes the tackle to Gale, and Gale will come down 5 metres short of the half try line. He'll get up and play it to the left-hand side. It's a half-back with Foxwell. Turns an underball now here to Tamarua. He pops the pass back now to Foxwell. Quick hands. Pass goes with it. Kicks it into the in-goal area here. It's going to be tidied up at the back, and they'll run it out here with the Broncos, and they'll do it through Leota. And we're going to find a penalty here for the Seagulls, Taylor Brown.
Yeah, there might have been a height tackle on Ollie Pascoe just after he's kicked the ball. No, it must have been just before that, but I'll tell you what, Wynnum have been threatening with a couple offloads there. You need to watch Ollie Pascoe in and around the ruck. If he gets half an opportunity, he'll be away and score points. Very crafty football of the number 9 here for Wynnum.
So the Seagulls again. Dummy half is Pascoe.
Outside. Lead.
Cut out ball. Pello takes the tackle.
Brendan, CDO!
So Manu is wearing the number 3 and Josh Sim will be wearing the number 4. So a number change there for us, thanks to
Wait for the go, Josh.
Martin with a 2 metres short of the try line.
Josh early.
Goes the other way. Pascoe does a pirouette, comes back the other way now, gives it to Foxwell. Foxwell dances on the 10-metre line, goes to the left-hand side, still going as Foxwell. Jack Ahern will grab him and he'll be tackled 2 metres out from the try line. Seagulls trying to get through the Broncos' defence here, put their first points on the boot. Tamarua, it's in the hands now of Pello, and Pello trying to get through the try line. He's going to be pulled down 1 metre short. Dummy half is Matt Milson. He's back at BMD Cougar. He went to North there for a couple of years. Grubble kick from Pascoe, tied out the back there by Saylor, and Saylor are running out here, and Milson will perform the tackle. So the Broncos will have the footy 90 metres from the try line.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure there for the baby Bronx, having to defend back-to-back sets on their own try line. It's been a very see-through game of football. Of course, Broncos scoring early in the first couple of minutes. Wynnum then holding the Broncos on their line for a couple of sets, but they passed that first test. Kevy Walters will be happy with his young troop out there today, working their way out well again in this set.
Yep, 1 penalty apiece. You can see the Broncos get a pass there, 40. No look pass. Turns it back inside the gap for the Broncos, and away he goes. He's on his way, tackled on the sideline, sorry, the 20-metre line now. Players everywhere, kicked to the in-goal area. It's going to be a catch in the corner, and Leota will score the second try, I should say, here for the Broncos.
Beautiful work here by the Broncos in the middle of the park. It was a combination of Smoothie, Saylor and Mariner. Smoothie jumped, hit Saylor, Mariner, who just played the ball, backing up on the inside, sniffing an opportunity and taking advantage. It was very crafty little work in and around the ruck. Here we see Smoothie, inside out there to Mariner. Shame we couldn't see him at full stretch because he does have a really good lick of speed there. But look at Josh Rogers. This is just all football and class. He knows the options open for Leota. He can't pass the ball. He can't put it through the hands. He's going to chip it over the top.
Decided to run on the last. Beautiful stuff. So Broncos hit back after 2 sets in defence. We had a couple of number changes here. So Talita and Gil Mosby are 2 and 5 have switched over. And
I mean, it's trials. What are trials for, Johnny? This is it's
just a mess with
it's all to mess with you. It's for
Mano is wearing the 3 for the Seagulls, and Sim will be wearing the number 4. So
I might just not pick up my phone in February from now on.
No. No. So this is kicked right from the sideline. Metre in. Rogers strikes it, and it's going to go to the right-hand side, so the score remains 10-0.
Wynnum have not defended a full set of 6 just yet. They're going to need that for confidence building. There is a young squad here for Wynnum, no doubt. It's also a young squad for the Bronx. Oh, jeez, I thought we were going to have a repeat of the first kickoff.
Yeah, Bayless just grabbed it. I think it was actually over the dead ball line. He's just plucked it out of thin air and brought it back into the field of play. So
it's the tallest front row combination I've seen in a long time, Bayless and Takura. He's like 7'11", isn't he, Ben Takura? Have a go at him.
So again, his spin dynamic is full. Almost the 40. Kicks it to Smoothie. Early kick, end over end. The wing is not back there for Ella Mosby. It's going to be tied up there in the end by Matthew Milson. He'll take the tackle of Jack Ahern, who his kick chase is always on point.
Smart work from Smoothie again. He's been one of the best on the park so far from the Broncos. Got out, almost converted that into a 4-20. But regardless, they had some chases there with some good defence. Tightening the screws on the Seagulls.
They just need to hang on the ball. I don't think we've, well, it's hard to tell if we had a completed set. There's been a couple of 6 to goes with Gale. Gale drive with the legs, good carry there from Gale. Gets across the 40-metre line, takes 3 Broncos with him. One of them is Johnson. He'll get up. He's got good front there as Gale. Flat ball, finds the lock forward there on Tamarua, and he'll get to the halfway line, taken by his opposite 13 of Ho. Stands in the tackle, wrestles his way. Pasco, they go to the back into the hands now of Foxwell. Puts a high kick in. Chase is coming through, taken nicely the back to Sale, but a good tackle from the Chase there in Sim. So a completed set.
Completed set for the Wynnum side. Tristan Saylor works it back. He's had some good positioning plays already.
Jack Martin, the tackler. Geez, the Broncos are just throwing their passes right on the advantage line. There's another one here. Must have been only about a couple of inches there from a flat pass. And they're hitting it with momentum here. They obviously want to impress Kevy Walters. A kick, it's not the last here. Goes end over end. The fullback has to tidy up again in Milson, and it'll go into touch here. Once again, kicking early in the tackle count, Taylor Brown looking for some from field advantage.
Yeah, I think Rogers would have ideally liked that to stay in and continue heaping the pressure on Wynnum. But it rolls out, not the worst result. Some early kicks turn this Wynnum Manly
Shot in.
He's a big
He'll
lad.
get up gingerly. That might have been Gala Mosby. They certainly want to put some shots on. Will Samuel there with that last tackle. Rogers the tackle this time. Gets a little bit of help there from Tikura. 35 out from their own line here, the Broncos. Pasco goes for a run himself. That's come off Jack Ahern. It's going to be a knock on here from Ahern, and so it should be a Broncos play the ball.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what Nick Pelgrave signals for here, because it's one of those little minced situations where, yeah, I don't think Jack Ahern meant to touch the football, but regardless he has and gone forward off him. So I would presume now we see a Wynnum Manly feed, which we do. Kyle Foxwell ball in hand. So this is a nice little break here for Wynnum. They're already at the 40. They get a couple of good tackles in. Keep the football down the other end of the park. They've had 15 minutes now. They might be looking for some fresh heels as well from the bench.
We'll like to see Nick Pelgrave play. That was half a break here now from Pello. Pasco wants a quick play the ball. He finds Hartwig, and Hartwig drives to the 30-metre line now. Seagulls do what they do every year, just rolling it up the middle here with their big men. Here it is with Robinson. Takes the tackle, 22 metres out from the try line now. The Seagulls looking to put their first points on the board. 11 minutes still to go in this first of three 25-minute standards. Show and go, trying to get through there is Pello, and Pello is going to be pulled out. Carving him up at the moment is Pello in the halves. They go to the right-hand side with Milson with throws a dummy, and Milson is close to the line. Last tackle now, says Pelgrave. Slow play the ball. Pasco, a long pass out, finds Pello, throws a ball inside to absolutely nobody. It's been gathered, I think, in the end now by the Broncos.
There's a pile of bodies. We'll have to peel them all off to see where the ball ended up. Of course, Brendan Fry underneath the pack. Great work in that last set by Wynnum. They switched it up. They had a few little nice plays in and around the ruck. Matt Milson was key. Tony Pello was outstanding. And I thought with that dangerous spine they have today, that's where they were going to upset the Broncos. And they've done so in that set. They need to take that blueprint and try and apply it for the next 10 minutes.
Josh Martin's out there wearing the number 70. He puts that tackle there on Quade's Ward. They go the blind side through Ahern. That's going to be knocked down on the far side. And there'll be 6 more here for the Broncos.
Yeah, Pello jumped out of the line and touched that one. I think he knew that if the ball did reach to the outside man in James Johnson, it may have been game over. There was lots of green grass in front of him. Smart hands there by Ahern and co.
Gal comes off. Cowley comes on. So there'll be a revolving door of players. Muggy conditions here in the southeast Queensland. Actually, it's the coolest day today. I think it's 33. People got jumpers on. Massive drop in temperature from yesterday.
I lost 3 kilos walking from the car, John. It was ridiculous.
Don't worry, you'll find it, mate. They'll turn up.
I think I'll find it after the game.
With interest. With Rogers. Rogers. Taylor Brown. Third year in retirement, mate?
Hey?
This is your third year in retirement?
Who's counting?
Is
Yeah,
it?
third year in retirement. Third year.
No itch to go back?
Not on 30-degree days.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure. So the Broncos finding a lot of territory now. 20 metres out. Scoreline is 10-0 on the Barton scoreboard. Quade Ward does a bit of a skip to the 10 metres. Try line. Dummy half Samuel Finds a lock forward, not Fahu.
1 foot.
He's been heavily muscled to the ground there from the Seagulls defence. Josh Martin. Jack Ahern loses his footing. Smoothie dummy half. Gives it to Ahern. Ahern, a ball out the back here to Sailor, and Sailor gives a short ball. Oh, it goes too high to the Pello. And that allows the Broncos to score a pretty soft try in the end.
Yeah, Dean Mariner gets over in that right-hand corner. Again, a nice little sleight of hands between Ahern and Sailor, and then on to Mariner. Shows this try. Ahern had gone short in the previous play. They were expecting it. Beautiful line by Mariner. Too quick, too strong. Muscles his way over for another try. So again, it's the Broncos with that execution that's just killing the Seagulls at the moment. All of their tries, apart from the smoothie, argy-bargy try in the opening couple of minutes, have come off some really well-executed skill. And you can tell there's a real attack focus on the Broncos here today, John, when they get down that end. And they are pulling it off.
Jack Ahern not doing his harm at all. He's been very dynamic. Goes to the blind side there. Certainly aware of where his big men are. The Broncos go to a 14-0 lead with 7 minutes remaining in this first of 3 25-minute stanzas.
I think the spine in general has been outstanding for the Broncos. Just to cut that whole spine. And he's had a sensational game so far as well. And if Sailor's your least experienced in the pack, you know you've got a great spine on your hands.
This one looks a little bit better. It's successful, 16-0. So 6 minutes to go. Seagulls threatened a couple of times when they've been down in front of the chook pen, just haven't been able to convert. It's Seagulls defence, but Pello is certainly asking some questions of the defence when he has ball in hand, as does Oliver Pascoe. So we're underway again. This one comes off the knee. So I'll bring it back into the field of play on the 20.
Two players I have been impressed so far in a battle that's heating up in the middle of the field is that of the number 13s, Brody Tamarua for Wynnum, and then Shalom Afoa from the Broncos. I really like this Shalom. He's a very strong player. He's got beautiful hands too, footwork.
I don't know whether they have a game plan or not totally around them. They're certainly trying the left-hand defence of the Seagulls. They seem to be throwing a lot of traffic to the right-hand side. We haven't seen Sim tested here on this side as the Seagulls come up with a footy. They go across the halfway line. Pascoe's a dummy half. He wants a forward runner. He finds one now, and it's Josh Martin. And Josh Martin will get to the 40. He rolls over the 40-metre line now, and he'll get up and play it. Dummy half is Pascoe. They go to left-hand side, so the big fella's going to have a run now. I don't think that's Robinson. It says Robinson in the scorebook, unless James Robinson has hit the gym and eaten half of the weights. I'm not sure who that is, but anyway, they go out to the back ends again. This is with Cowley. Gets a ball from Foxwell. Foxwell trying hard to find some gaps. Here's a inside-outside ball. It comes unstuck, unfortunately, and the Broncos will come up with a footy.
Yeah, John, and that's the difference. We saw the inside-outside work for the Broncos earlier in this half. Wynnum have tried the exact same thing, but they didn't have that polish. They didn't have the speed, and they didn't have it in the right situation, unfortunately. They didn't have the right roll on. The defence wasn't on the back foot. And when executed like that in poor circumstances, it does look like a terribly run play. So the Broncos now working their way out of their own end. Smoothie needs a run. Oh! Look, I know that's not Cassius Cowley. I believe that's Kitron Larker in the number 16 jersey. John, I believe so. I might be wrong.
Well, is that the third penalty of the match here? The first one, obviously, well, it wasn't really a penalty. It was obviously a restart underneath the goal post. But anyway, that's a forward pass. We're right in line with it here, so we can actually have some authority on that call. It's terrible. I know the Super Bowl's on in a couple of weeks here, but geez, anyway, they'll get up and play now with the Broncos. They're on the 20-metre line, threatening again. Ahern, they go to the right-hand side. They come back inside to Ofahu, keeping it alive here, dancing and weaving and trying to get through is Takuru, and Takuru will take that tackle 12 out from the try line. The Seagulls on their line defending again with Jack Ahern. Takes him himself. Jack Ahern trying to get through there, the big fella. And unfortunately, look, John-Luc Picard has been pulled down 2 metres short of the try line. They go to the left-hand side. Here come the Broncos again. Flat pass, spin and turn. Samuel, Will Samuel. Last tackle, kick in goal. That's been touched. That'll be a try, I think. No, knock on.
Oh, he's called grounded there by Gideon Geller-Mosby. He's done well to wrap his hands around it. Sorry, that is Stanford Toledo. So he's done extremely well to get there. I didn't believe when I watched it live that he did, to be completely honest. Chip over the top by Smoothie.
Oh, I thought that was a... Yeah, you're right.
It's a game of basketball. That's that one.
That's a Gronk spike.
Dribbling, sir. Dribbling.
Anyway, the Broncos will have the footy again here. 2.5 minutes still remaining in this first stanza. And running all the way from the chook pen, there comes Morgan. And Morgan, 22 out from the try line. Tackled around the ankles by Kyle Foxwell. Rogers, underball to Takuru. They're peppering that goalpost. They're running up that middle third of the field at the moment. They're going through the forwards, and it's with Afahu. He challenges the defence of the Seagulls, trying to drive and get a few more metres. He's going to stand and tackle. 8 out. Dummy half now is Smoothie. Scored 1 try already. It's with Ahern. Ahern, flat ball. Good tackle on the far side there from Manu. Now it's with Smoothie looking for a double. Can he get over? Nick Pelgrave's right there. He says he's held up. Good defence, Seagulls.
Yeah, great defence by the Seagulls. Ahern obviously seeing an opportunity. Smoothie decided to play battering ram again. Well stopped by the Seagulls. 1:40 on the clock. They'll do well to keep them out here.
Will be something nice to take in the sheds there for the new coach there, Matt Head. So they've hung on for this final few minutes. Saylor puts a kick into the in-goal area. Has he got enough wheels to score? No. Goes dead in goal just in the nick of time. Oh, the Steeden did a favour there for the Seagulls. Otherwise, it was 20 on the board.
Yeah, young Leota almost gets a double. Just an unfavourable bounce, really. Stopped him from another 4 points. So a minute of mistake-free football, and Matt Head's Chargers managed to go into the break after the first 25, 16-0 behind the Broncos.
Seagulls in a bit of a bunch at the moment here, but what can they do at the back end of this set of 6 here? The Bronx might get one more crack. It's with Geller-Mosby, and Mosby will get to the halfway line. Getting a lot of attention, walks across the halfway. Pello. Only went sideways there, did Pello. Pascoe goes himself, finds Milsom. Milsom throws a dummy to left end, finally takes a tackle. 32 metres now. Seagulls, what can they do? Closing stages of the first down. Foxwell goes back the other way to the hands of Pello. Puts a kick straight down the throat, unfortunately, of Saylor. And he'll take the tackle 10 metres out from the try line. They'll get 2 or 3 tackles. Will they throw some flair around the Seagulls?
Almost perfect positionally, Tristan Saylor in the first 25 minutes. That's the second time he's diffused an attacking situation. He's done extremely well.
Josh Marchant, he's going to need some ice for that right shoulder. Every shot he's put in has thrown some dentures across the park. They go to Ahern. Again, they try to go to the left-hand defence. Cut out ball here. The Broncos are not done yet. Kick into the field. Infield. Saylor. Milson takes it. Saylor makes a tackle. Ahern finishes it off, and he'll finish off the half here. And the Broncos will go to the sheds leading 16 points to 0. 3 tries to 0. Taylor Brown. Well, exciting end of the first 25 minutes.
Yeah, talk about some intent there from the Broncos. Not much left on the clock, and they decide to throw something at them. Rogers to Ahern. Long ball all the way out to James Johnson. Chip on the inside. If it was a little bit further on, you'd like to think Saylor cleans that one up and scores. But some brilliant fluidity in their attack this afternoon here, the Broncos, don't they, John?
Yep, just trying to, I think it might be 7 minutes for the break between these 3 stanzas. Certainly muggy conditions. We see the Broncos stay in the middle of BMD Cougar. We're going to take a break here as as the players do. There'll be a change of referee in the middle as well. So, and no doubt some changes from the Seagulls. Matthew Head will come out and talk to his troops, and they're going to huddle down inside the 30. BMD, Wynnum Manly Seagulls behind on the scoreboard, 16 points to nil against the Brisbane Broncos. We'll be back with the second stanza very, very soon.
So if Brisbane keep running that way, then I'll stay that side.
Second stands are about to get underway, and God help us with these numbers, Taylor Brown. There's players out there wearing numbers that don't match our score sheet. But anyway, we'll get underway. So the Broncos have a 16-0 lead, and they've done it quite comfortably in the end here. It's now with Jack Ahern, and Ahern has certainly been dynamic with his first opportunity here in Broncos colours. And the Broncos, with Ahern, rolls it back here just as he's gone into touch. Flag's gone up.
Yeah, interesting play. A little bit of hot potato here from the Broncos early. Sailor spotting a bit of a broken line from Wynnum. I tell you what, if they pulled that off, it would have looked sensational to kick off the second third of the match.
Well, you mentioned actually Mariner. He has certainly had some wheels there.
He does,
got that right
yes.
edge there. He's going to cause some carnage by full time in this game here. So the Seagulls will have the footy. It's with Hartwick, 32 metres out, centre of BMD Cougar over. Ollie Pascoe. He's gone from Bulimba to Brisbane Tigers, and now he's playing for the BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls and starts in the number 9. The Broncos, a standing tackle here as the Seagulls try to drive forward. They get across the 20-metre line. Just Pascoe comes in the hands of Foxwell, takes the line, ball out the back. Didn't want to go to anybody, and Milson will have to tidy up. Ahern will take that tackle. 19 metres out, 20 in from the BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls Leagues Club here. There's a charge through now. There's Josh Martin, and Josh Martin driving through is Martin. Martin gets within 8 of the try line here. Seagulls, can they get another set of 6 here? They go to the right-hand side, long past Foxwell. And he'll take the tackle. He rolls over 1 metre out. Palgrave says, last tackle. Pascoe, what did he do? Goes to the right-hand side. It's with Pello. And that's going to be knocked back. And that'll be dived on. And that'll be a knock-on. No, changeover says, well, he's going to call a knock-on. I thought he might have said a changeover. I thought it was the last.
Yeah, I think we have a double knock-on. It was certainly touched by Rogers on the way through.
Yeah, Rogers has knocked that on.
Rogers has touched it. So Pelgrave brings him into the middle for a scrum. They'll roll it in the middle, pretend to touch it, and Wynnum will pick the ball up. And they get another set of 6 to kick off. Wouldn't it be good for the Wynnum Manly side if they can get 4 points to start off the second third?
Pello, well, that wasn't a good start. Play on, says Pelgrave. Pascoe, they coming to the left-hand side now towards the Leagues Club. Seagulls, some players. Josh Martin, tackle around the ankles there by Smoothie. Pascoe, a dummy half. Foxwell, going out back. Pello, the spine combining, and he's going to be smashed in the tackle on the far side there by Quade Ward-Milson, and he's going to lose the footy in the tackle, and that will be a Bronco scrum feed, 12 out from their own line.
Yeah, you can see Quade Ward, he shot his shot, had to land on his mark, and he does so effectively. Very physical there, and gets the result. So Broncos escape a little bit of early trouble here.
Yeah, disappointing for the Seagulls there. They're showing some combinations there. The spine involved there. Not very often you see the 7, 6 and 1 in the one play on the one side of the field here. But the Broncos, 12 out from their own line. They'll pack and win this scrum as you'd expect. Is with Quade Ward. Just hasn't quite exploded yet as Quade Ward. Will Samuel. Playing in the middle here, Samuel, renowned to be playing in the backs when he's playing for the Brisbane Tigers. He'll get up and play it, looking delicious as he did last year as Willie Samuel, I must say. He's now with Morgan, and Morgan will try and drive forward in the tackle there of Gull. Quick play the ball here is Smoothie. Oh, big shot there coming from the Seagulls. They've lost the footy, have the Broncos in the end, and that might have been iron shoulders Foxwell.
Yeah, it was.
Comes up with a bell ringer. Taylor Brown, you've been critical of his plastic shoulders in the past, and he comes up with a bell ringer.
It comes from a place of love, Cole,
I'm
but no,
sure
he's
it
done
is.
extremely well there underneath Will Samuel.
Exactly.
The error.
Still got his photo in your wallet, haven't you? As we see the Seagulls in with an opportunity. They come to the Leagues Club side. An underball here in the hands now of Manu, and Manu who led the side out as a skipper. The club hasn't announced their official skipper for the season as yet. They go to the right-hand side. An underball here, trying to get through there now is Jack Martin, and Jack Martin will be tackled by Fry. 10 out from the try line. Looking for a quick play. The ball for Pascoe. He gets it. It's in the hands of Foxwell. Good run there from Pello. He had lurking inside him Matthew Milson. He didn't use him. Milson was who's going to score for all money. That's going to be a grubber kick here. It's going to be in the hands of the Broncos. It's very, very messy. This might be 6 more here for the Seagulls.
Well cleaned up in the end there by the Broncos, but that's the exact style of football Wynnum need to continue to play if they're going to get some points on the board here. They need to be using Milsard and Pello together. Pello, of course, played a lot of fullback there for the Brisbane Tigers, so they have speed to burn. They have that turn of pace. I think they need to be using it in that combination a little bit more. Leave Foxwell the keys to the city, let him dictate the play, and just have Milson and Pello play what's in front of them.
Milson is trying to join this back line. Might be a little bit of rope-a-dope with Milson. He hasn't got the footy, that short ball inside as yet. Might play that close to the line. It's with that man Milson now. With Hartwig, who stands and finally falls underneath of the weight of Jack Ahern, Mariner the tackler. Pascoe's been dynamic. Every pass has hit the man. We see Josh Martin now. The two Martins have been outstanding when they've been out there, but they've lost the footy. I think the Broncos are going to come up with and a penalty as well, just to really rub it into the Seagulls. They've taken the hot chip off the Seagulls and they've waved it in front of them. They're going to get a relieving penalty here. Will the Bronx?
Yeah, well, if you lose the ball, it turns out the refs look for facials and you get penalised for them. So,
do they?
Yeah. Easy, John.
No, it's too early in the season. We've got a long season ahead,
Easy.
you and I. So the Broncos with the footy again. So they've made up for them. Here he comes, charging on this Afahu. He's been outstanding. Every time with every carry, he's got about 10 or 15 post-contact metres as the number 13. And I love on the hair. They go to the blind side. Rogers, ball underneath here. It's going to be Will Samuel again, and they lose the footy. So I don't think Kevin Waddles will be happy with his ball control in his second stander from the Bronx. The Seagulls come up with again. What can they do? They've got 15 metres, 40 now to get to the try line and open their scoring. 16-0 on the Barton scoreboard.
Well, it is giving the Broncos the opportunity to show a bit of grit and defence, batten down the hatches and get in the trenches together.
Oh, they had numbers out wide here. Johnson was almost 30 metres in field there, and they had 3 players outside of the Seagulls. They didn't send it that way, but anyways, now with Jack Martin, and Jack Martin going backwards to go forwards. Well, Martin is going to end up facing towards the western side. Get up and play it. Foxwell. Pello. Quick hands in the hands now of Manu, and Manu going backwards and losing ground will take that tackle on the 30. Manhandled there by Johnson. Bit of push and shove. Oh, nice clip here from Manu. Manu and Johnson, toe-to-toe. Caesar's Palace has come to BMD Cougarai Oval, but a couple of harmless jabs on the chin. And both judges have scored 0 for both of those punches.
Well, if there's been a conversation between the referees before today's match, a little bit of a season agenda, I think we might see someone in the bin. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a send-off, really.
Well, he's given a left jab there, does Martin, then a second one. And actually...
Look, there were elbows, there were open hand ones, there was a plethora of options, really, that he come out with. So I don't think Pelgrave will need any more excuse to send him into an early shower.
Well, Johnson, to his credit, didn't actually raise a hand. He took the jabs there from Manu, and he didn't do anything. Discipline. He obviously knows there's a long season ahead. So Smoothie is going to have a conversation with Nick Pelgrave. To be honest, I don't think the Broncos are at fault here in any way. Might have been a bit of sledging. He's got 10 minutes, Manu. The referee will send him in the shower, and that's not what the Broncos needed. I was only joking that Pelgrave will end up with only 11 players on either side come the second stanza. We sent one already, and as soon as you make contact with a punch to the head of an opposing player, there's a mandatory 10 minutes in the bin, and he did it twice. I mean, he get 20 minutes, but he's gone for 10. So down to 12 players. It doesn't get too easy now. And the Broncos, being the visitors, should do the right thing and take one of their own off. Level it up.
I don't think that will be the case in this circumstance. Young John Riddell has now come on the field for the Broncos. Of course, played the first 25 minutes for the Seagulls, and we'll no doubt see him take a hit up here in the maroon and yellow.
Bayless, and there's another penalty. Nick Pelgrave isn't happy. You're going to have to be careful now. The Seagulls, a high shot. And they'll get another set of 6 here, the Broncos. Jack Ahern barking orders. Something's on. Smoothie. Here he goes again. I don't know how many weeks. Oh, big shot coming out there from Cowley. I think that's Cowley. I don't know whether there's much arms in that. There was plenty of shoulder. Here we go now is with Afahu.
Yeah, they're certainly
30 metres out. Sorry, mate, yep.
certainly bringing the physicality now, the Seagulls. Behind on the scoreboard.
That might have been a Fatili, I think, with a headband on. Ahern holds the ball out here. Sailor gets knocked over, loses the footy. Still got the footy of the Broncos. Pello chasing after him now is Mariner. Mariner, you'll take a long way. They're going to come back for a knock on. Nick Pelgrave finds a handling error.
Can we get some louder whistles for the referees?
No.
There's a whole bunch of excitement for no
No,
reason.
there's too many peas in a whistle already, and that's one. And Mariner, well, he just knew he was going to get hunted down here, and that's when they stopped play there with the knock on. So the Seagulls.
I believe there was a forward pass.
Yeah. Here we are, boys. Yeah.
So I think there was a forward pass here somewhere in that mix. Once picked up by Wynnum. I'll tell you what, they scooped the ball up and they were away. It was only some really strong cover defence that stopped a try there.
I'll tell you what, you want to get a good start on Mariner. The man will be, if he's still around in 2032, he'll be carrying the bat in Brisbane.
You'd want
mate.
10 metres.
Hey?
I'd want 30.
30 and an e-scooter.
I think he'd still get me if I had 90.
Seagulls with a footy. Seagulls with a footy. I think the stall gift, mate, you're not allowed to start 2 metres from the finish line. And I've got this feeling this is Fatili. We're in the 16. Put the big shot on earlier. Dart from dummy half from Pascoe. Trying to work on the markers who he seemed to think were offside or not straight. They get across the 40. Foxwell, he's been good.
That's Farmer.
That is Farmer, it's not Robinson. Darius Farmer.
Throw the sheet out, John. It's all
Yeah.
wrong.
That's been played out, you would think, but play on is with Sailor. Sailor's got some pace. Milson comes in, turns it back inside now. Liam Horn for the try line, and Liam Horn, cut down a metre short.
Liam
Can't
Horn.
believe it. Never give up. A good run there from Pello. Broncos trying to get across the try line. They turn it back inside, and I think they're going to go close now, a metre short. Play on, Horn to the left-hand side, bat it on. Oh, the Broncos, they're playing volleyball here. BMD Cougar Oval, try in the corner, in the end they're Quade Ward.
Yeah, all they needed to do was get the ball across there in the end for that try. But I tell you what, I feel for Liam Horn. He's had a sensational couple of seasons for the Devils, rewarded with a train and trial for the Broncos, and almost scores a try after only a couple minutes on the field. We have a look at the replay here. Pello was touched by Sailor and then picked up. I honestly thought if he just pinned it back, he might have gone all the way. But have a look at Pello. Oh, there's only a couple of metres in it.
Milson got hit by a sniper. I don't know what happened to him. He actually collapsed. Unfortunately, hopefully he's okay. We'll have a look to see where Matthew Milson is. Anyway, the Broncos have got 20 on the scoreboard with 12 minutes to go, second stanza.
Yeah, Quai Ward, not much in it there for him, really just a catch and pass sort of scenario, but he's had a outstanding defensive game. Now gets himself on the score sheet. Quite strong across the park so far, the Broncos.
But what about Pello? Just didn't give up. He kept chasing. Wilson was there as well. Pulls down Liam Horn, as you mentioned.
He's got some wheels, Tony Pello.
As you mentioned, he's played at fullback. There's a lot of pace on the back line from both of these sides, and we saw that on display right now. Mariner, Samuel. I don't know where Will Samuel's playing, but it's certainly not in the backs.
Well, I believe during that set we had Rory Ferguson might be playing. So Rogers comes in for the conversion attempt.
No, one doesn't look too bad either. It's just going to be waved away. Score remains 20-0. 11 minutes remaining, second standard. 3:25-minute halves, 7 minutes for Oranges in between all three. And 20 points to 0. So Seagulls look promising. Their call back for a forward pass. Will Samuel, young sailor, Tristan, makes a break. Liam Horn, might have been his first touch. Anyway, we're back underway. What's going on with these kickoffs? Neither side can catch the footy, but anyway, the Broncos are going to run away. Oh, big shot. And the number 20 there for the Seagulls, not James Robinson.
It's Darius Farmer. He's got absolutely stuck into John Riddell. And this is probably the only game they'll play against each other all year. They'll be with each other for the rest.
Fry. Face planted, one-handed pick up here from Smoothie. Campagnolo gets the offload now here to Johnson. So Jack Campagnolo wearing number 15 for the Broncos, play for the BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls, and both grand finals for the Seagulls against Norse and the Burleigh Bears. Last tackle now here, says the referee. Nick Pelgrave has had arrested with Campagnolo. Puts a kick into the corner here. Underneath it is Milson. He'll take the tackle. And a high shot, and there'll be a penalty now to the Seagulls.
Yeah, Tamusa coming in. Great chase, just threw a bit of a lazy arm out. Good kick by Campagnolo, great chase. Yeah, Milson just got away from him at that last second, and he couldn't reel that right arm in.
Talk about pace, Tony Tamusa. Holy smokes. Now that guy gets some space.
Tony Tamusa's agility is what is his best asset.
Tony Tamusa actually turned the game on its head for Redcliffe against East a few years ago at Suncorp Stadium. Won that game for mine, I thought, Taylor Brown.
Yeah, it was a couple of years ago now.
So, I think that's Cowley. I'm going to go because it's not Fatafili. Cowley with the crazy hair. Matt Milson had a run there, and I'm telling you, he wants to get involved here. Does Matt Milson? He wants that number 1 jersey for the Seagulls for the year. Pascoe, last tackle. Foxwell, high ball. Chaser's coming through. Takes it nicely in the end as Leota flies high. He's been tackled in the air, and that'll be a penalty to the Broncos.
Beautiful jump there by Leota. Hasn't he been a little bit of a surprise packet today for the Broncos as one of their best? He's already got a try, been strong defensively, and then again gets above the pack. I can see why penalty was awarded. He can't make contact with that man in the air.
Again, relief for the Broncos and disappointment for the Seagulls. They just can't get a good 3 or 4 sets together. Unfortunately, this is with Quade Ward. Fatafili, the tackler. 5 short of halfway. Campagnolo turns the ball back underneath now to Tony Tamusa. And Tony Tamusa in uncharted gets the pop pass out the back into Smoothie. Keeping it alive now. It's with Rogers. Jack Ahern has gone to the sideline to make way for Jack Campagnolo. Must have been a popular name in the 80s, Jack. Nice pick up between the ankles there by Leota. Sort of trying the first stanza. Reaching out. Rogers. Beating 1, beating 2 to Kura. Finally, Cowley takes the tackle. Campagnolo. Oh, wobbly old pass finds the feet there of Johnson, and Johnson will come back into the field of play here, and Johnson will beat 1. Now 2, finally gets into a wrestle and pull down and play on, says the referee. He's going to go all the way and score the try, Johnson. There's determination. Play the whistle, gets up and scores.
Well, I don't know too much about this young man in Johnson, but I can tell you he spent his afternoons at the PCYC in his youth because there was an up and over the top. It was some gymnastics if I've ever seen it, and scores himself a try moving from the wing into centre. Just grit and determination there by Johnson.
We've got it our score list. It's Hartwick was the tackler, number 11. Obviously, this could be wrong, but he hip tossed him over the
top.
And towards the try line.
This is a SmackDown v Raw sort of situation, you reckon?
It was. All it was missing was the gold body paint and some.
We just need the glass
some
breaking.
olive oil.
John Cena.
There you go. So another break here for the Broncos. 6 minutes remaining, second stanza here at BMD Cougar Eye Oval. 2 weeks' time, the BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls will take on the Suzuki Tigers here at BMD Cougar Oval in a trial, an annual trial between two two iconic clubs. They get on very, very well, do both the Seagulls and Tigers off the field, but it certainly will be a bit of carnage out in the middle of BMD Cougar Oval in 2 weeks' time here, Saturday afternoon. Get your tickets, and that conversion is successful. 26 points to nil, 5 minutes remaining. They just need to hang on to the footy, Taylor Brown. Complete sets, just complete sets. Maybe kick early in the tackle count. Remembering, they've only got 12 players. Now, I don't know whether that player's come back on to make it 13 apiece.
They do have 13 out on the field at the moment.
So, as we know, Manu was sent for 10. Now, I don't know in a trial whether they actually just send him for 10, they bring another player out. We didn't actually count that, did we? They may have put another one out there just to make it level. Anyway, here's the kick, and hey, there we go. Finally, somebody takes it from the kickoff.
Great hit up there by Ben Tikura. It's a tough line to run, especially with that height.
He's a tall man, isn't he?
Someone get up and underneath you. It would be a very scary prospect for that young front rower. He's played a little bit of back row as well. I thought he was one of the best on the park last year in this trial.
And that was Riddell there with the first carry. And gets the offload. Here they come. It's with Liam Horn. Smoothie, dummy half. Finds Sailor, and Sailor's just going to take that up into a tackle from Oliver Pascoe. Gets to the 40. Smoothie to Horn. They're working on something here, Taylor Brown. Something's brewing. Jack Campagnolo to the right-hand side. It goes to Campagnolo. Ball back inside. They've softened up on the inside. Nobody knew about it. Puts a kick on in the end there. End over end. Milson picks it up right on the chook, right in front of the chook pen. He'll bring it back into the field of play here. But they had a set play going, Taylor, and it all fell apart.
Yeah, I could see Sailor lurking on the inside, and the ball from Campagnolo just didn't quite get there. Fortunately, we had Tyson Smoothie just in the middle, ready to clean up. Little chip over the top.
Oh, well, credit to the Broncos. To the Seagulls. End up forcing the error, and they come up with a footy. So can they get to a kick? I don't think the sets have to be ranging around about that 50% mark, I think, Taylor Brown, in completions.
Standard trial form.
Yeah, pretty much. At the end of the day, you just hope that nobody gets hurt. So it's with Manu, who's back out in the park here. Sorry, that might be Gella Mosby, and he's another one who gets some pace, kick. So they are kicking early in the tackle count. Something nose of Sailor. He'll throw it back into Farmer. Sorry, into the hands of Leota. Cowie be the tackler. One-handed pick up from Rogers. And there's a penalty. Seagulls inside the 10. They're starting to get tired, the Seagulls. And just reminding those of you who are watching, the Broncos obviously an NRL side train 8 days a week, whereas the Seagulls probably only get the 3 2-hour sessions at the moment. So they'll be feeling the heat, literally.
Of course, many of these Wynnum players, well, I would guess all of these Wynnum players have jobs, so they aren't just footballers. This Brisbane team, there is, of course, some cup stars littered throughout there that also have jobs, but a lot of them in that full-time system.
Campagnolo. Long ball, turning to Musa. Hangs on to it in the end. Johnson. Campagnolo again. Short ball, finds a big man in Takura, and Takura gets the offload. Campagnolo! Jack Campagnolo knows the tie line of BMD Cougar Oval and goes over again, and Jack Campagnolo will score a try for the Broncos right in front of the chook pen.
Puts an exclamation point on this second third of football, Campagnolo. He had to work hard for it. Once he got into open space, there were still players to beat. Seagulls to wrestle. But well done to Campagnolo. As again, you've mentioned, John, familiar territory for him here at Cougar Eye.
Yeah, he's certainly been heavily involved since he came on, replacing Jack Ahern. And he's no stranger. End up with an NRL contract with, he's not so good.
South Sydney Rabbitohs.
That's right. For the Broncos, Ahern, Rogers and Jack Campagnolo.
Is it cold there, Wynnum?
Certainly giving some
Make sure you don't move with the kick. Stay there.
well, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Adam Reynolds. I wouldn't have thought, but Adam Reynolds, if he does get injured, there's certainly some talent there that can step up. And yeah, a lot of water getting dispatched of out there at Westfield. 32 points to 0, and that will be second Oranges. Well, showed a lot of promise in the first 10 minutes. Taylor Brown, the Seagulls, and then it just all fell apart with incompleted sets.
Yeah, they certainly need to try and hold on to the football in this next 25 minutes. I'm not sure whether they'll be spewing out a younger side again for a little bit of experience, but we'll have to see.
2 points to 0. Matt Head all to do with 25 minutes of footy remaining. Does he throw out a whole squad? Time will tell. We'll be back with more here from BMD Cougar Oval.
What is it? They think it's 4:25. Oh no, they're getting a new team, I think. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, Broncos are ready. The Seagulls actually went back to the sheds. Taylor Brown, new coach Matt Head, obviously laying down the law and looking for improvement, especially in the handling department. I think they've been disappointing in not completing sets. I liked it in the initiative of kicking early in the tackle camp, but they only did it once because they haven't had any footy.
Yeah, that's right. They haven't had too much footy towards the back end of that third. Now we're just waiting for Wynnum to come out. They've gone all the way back to the sheds, leaving the Broncos. So there's a little bit of mind games possibly at 32-0 down, trying to get inside the heads of the Brisbane players.
I don't think the Broncos will be too concerned with mind games at the moment. They should be worried about their own game. I thought they absorbed a lot of pressure from the Seagulls in the first 10 minutes of that second stanza, and then they went on with it.
Yeah, defensively they've been really strong. I mentioned in that last period that Ethan Quai-Ward and Dean Mariner have been great in attack, but they've also been sensational in defence, both making key reads throughout, up and in, and either shutting down the play or forcing an error out of Wynnum.
Have you seen a change of game plan from the first stand to the second stand? The first stanza, Jack Ahern went to the right-hand side, the left-hand defence of the Seagulls. In the second stand, they didn't go that way. They actually rumbled more up the middle, mainly because the Seagulls gave over the footy. They came to the left-hand side occasionally. This is the Leagues Club side. They stayed away from the other side. I just find that Kevy Walters has obviously got a game plan for 3 different stages of this game.
Yeah, I feel that
we'll see what happens in the third one.
It might be a little bit of a nod to Jack Ahern, just with his previous experience. He's very, very strong when it comes to identifying short sides, the players and the numbers, and whether he has opportunities down there. He's been known to do it with the North Devils over the last couple of seasons, and it's worked really well for him there. So probably a little bit of that bleeding in here. You've got to remember there's also Brendan Fry is his back rower. He now has Tony Tamusa as his winger, so there is very much a Devils connection over in the right edge for the Broncos.
And we're talking about the kicking game. Obviously, Foxwell and haven't had that opportunity to be able to use their kicking game like they would like to. Jack Campagnolo, straight away he got into his work with a couple of nice kicks. And you can do that when you're leading by 32 points to 0.
Yeah, so Rogers now being the man left with the shortest straw. He's now off the field. Campagnolo and Ahern into the halves for the Broncos. There are some more changes.
I think Dan Munro, the touch judge, has gone to the sheds and done the whole knock.
Players
here they come.
Players are halfway through the shower saying, what does he want?
Although they were 225 minutes. They did pretty well, 32-0. So the Seagulls will go to the western end, BMD Cougar Oval. They will receive. Last time they did this, they gave up possession straight away. It was a line dropout, and shortly afterwards they scored a try in the corner there through Leota. So see if they can rewrite this. And I'd have to say also, Taylor, that the Seagulls were at their best when they played Seagulls footy, and that's just running up the middle third of the field, just rolling up with their forwards. I know there's a big forward pack here for the Broncos, but ball in hand, quick play the ball. They've got a dynamic player in Oliver Pascoe. That brings also Matt Milson in. So we're into the last 25 minutes of this trial here at BMD Cougar Oval as Cowley comes back with a footy, and straight away he finds the shoulder there of Will Samuel. Will Samuel's been strong in the middle of the park here. He's, as we know, he's more of a centre 3/4, but today he's playing in the back row. And good defence again from the Broncos. So obviously Kevy Walters would like to see the score remain with a 0 next to it. So
Kobe Martin now out there for the Seagulls in at the hooking role. Ollie Pascoe given a well-earned break. Also Tony Pello's absent from the field to kick off this final third.
Well, this is a nightmare because anyway, the kick straight down the throat. Again, not a great one to get away. I'm just trying to work out who the players are for the Seagulls, because I can tell you right now some of these players do not match the names that are on the sheets we've got. Anyway, Ahern. Broncos. Across the halfway line, no look pass. Tackler there was John Riddell. Is he gone back to the Seagulls?
No, John Riddell, no, he's not on the field at the moment.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, the score. Anyway, I give up Bayless now. 30, driving forward is Bayless. He'll take the tackle in the end there from from Ward. That'll be a penalty here for the Broncos. So the discipline from the Seagulls also is a little bit of a concern. That's 4 penalties. I don't think the Broncos are giving away any. Memory's not too good. Don't know where McCarkey's are for that matter. Oh, Fahu.
They're just starting behind
and there's another penalty.
They're starting behind the 8 ball because they can't win the contact. It's been all Broncos when it comes to contact and wrestle.
High shot.
So there's been quick play the balls.
Morgan. Going sideways, Morgan. Plucked off there by Hartwig. Centre of the park. Forwards combining in the middle. Jack Campagnano's going to take the footy. Takes a shot there from a Seagulls defender. Here we go with Bayless again, the South Logan Magpies. Stands in the tackle here. Cowley, one of the tacklers, gets flipped around. Also with a little bit of help there from Hartwig. Smoothie's a dummy half. He's already scored a try. He's going to look for a second. No, gives it to Ahern. Ahern holds onto the ball long enough to send a sailor on his way to the try line. Good work there from Jack Ahern. He hung onto the footy just for a second here. Opened up the gap there, and Sailor, he goes over and scores a 4-pointer.
Yeah, it was very crisp hands from Jack Ahern. You can watch here. He just holds up the pass, and Sailor, instead of that traditional outline, sneaks up through the middle. Great line in between half back and back rower, and Tristan Sutton. No one's going to stop him from there through the middle of the gap. Dives over. But a very good sleight of hand by Jack Ahern. Now, all members of the Broncos backline getting their names on the scoring sheet.
We see Rory Ferguson coming onto the park now for the Broncos, just to add some pain to the Seagulls. Another set of wheels out there that's going to be hard to reel in. Geez, I got some pace out there now. Liam Horn returns. Seagulls, 21 minutes. Like I said last year, unfortunately, leaking 50 points. They did cross. I think Plath might have scored last year. Memory serves.
So, 16 points, a quarter, a third so far scored by the Broncos. They're looking promising already here in the last. Sailor comes in, good strike. He kicks goals too, Tristan Sailor.
Well, I was going to say, he's probably got a little bit of pedigree about him.
His father went all right, didn't he?
He went handy. Handy, both codes. Let's see Fry coming to the sideline. Good to see Fry playing for the Broncos.
Yes, of course.
Hey? Solid player over the years. Not young either. Every Seagull in front of the kicker there. Pretty close. Jack Ahern. He'll take that. Didn't know where his ball runner was, but finally gets the offload and finds Morgan. There he is again, that man, Afoe. Afoe will crawl, still crawling, commando style, gets to the 30, quick play the ball in the end. Now it's going to be Will Samuel, and Will Samuel will try and get a few metres under the belt. Ends up on his back here from the tackle there from Cowley. Flat passes again, so this is very reminiscent of the first 25 minutes as we see Bayless try to get to the halfway. Centre of BMD Cougar Oval. Numbers to the left and right here for Ahern. They come towards Jack Campagnano. Cut out ball, finds Quade Ward, and Quade Ward finds a Seagull defender or two. He gets pulled down on the 40. One of those tacklers there is Kyle Foxwell, having a good game at number 7 is Kyle. Big shot coming in on Campagnano. Milson will take it. Referee says play on. And Jack Campagnano will get up.
Ooh-yah.
Here they go, the Seagulls.
Ferguson goes bang, great shot.
Manu found 10 minutes in the sin bin for a discretion with Johnson. He'll get up and play it on the 30. Now with Toledo. Has to pick it up between his toes there as Foxwell. Flat passes, finds I don't think that's Riddell.
It's not Riddell.
No.
They're changing jerseys.
Don't you do that at full time in
an international?
In international, you change the jerseys at half time. Anyway, they're on the 40, the Seagulls. Last tackle, let's see what they can do. Foxwell, pressure coming in on Foxwell. Gets the kick away. It's going to come right down on the chalky, and it's going to be taken nicely in the end there by that man in Johnson. Sorry, Leota. They got a kick away.
They did get a kick away. Broncos here under a little bit of pressure. Good defence by Wynnum trying to jam him in that corner, but they've gone early, unfortunately.
This time for Lip. You got to be kidding me. He's given the referee a gobful and leaked another penalty. I'll tell you what, talk about gobfuls. I'm telling you what, Matt Church will give him one at the end of the game here. That's just number 2 on the coach killer list.
Well, yeah, that's going to go straight to us.
So the Broncos just started, they probably cashed in on probably nearly 100 metres of footy from the penalties the Seagulls have given away. Anyway, the 40-metre line, can they hold them out? Dart from Dartmouth Harvest. Horn puts the left arm. Fend down. Liam Horn looking for some support. Does a pirouette. Horn still spinning in circles. He's going to take the tackle. There's 3 Seagulls on him. They're going to smash him 25 metres out from the try line. Here he is again, the number 13. Oh, he's got the footy in hand here. Short pass. That's got to be close to forward. Play on, says the referee. Takuri will take the tackle. 15 out from the try line. Seagulls scrambling in defence. Horn comes to the left-hand side. The man had 4,000 wheat picks this morning, the number 13 for the Broncos. Still going like it was the first 2 minutes. 5 out from the try line. They go to the Horn. Hearn gives it off now to Campagnolo. Puts it into the corner here now, trying to get across the line of the Broncos. Flick pass. Try time, and over he goes and scores as Will Samuel. Keeping the ball alive, and the Broncos, probably the most exciting of all the tries they scored this afternoon, Taylor Brown.
Left, right, back, forth. It's gone absolutely everywhere, man. But the ball ends up with Samuel. Great try there by Will Samuel. Handy little offload by Leota as well to make the magic happen at the end here. But Wynnum had scrambled for too long and just didn't have any more scramble left.
42-0 at the moment with 16.5 remaining.
Liam Horn really kick-started that sequence with a great dart from dummy half. He spun around in circles. I don't know if PNG have a national ballet, but he could certainly be in it. And everywhere he spun, he just saw green jerseys. He couldn't find any support.
I reckon if he could ice skate like you two, I reckon Blades of Glory too.
Blades of Glory too. Horn and Brown.
Hey?
Oh,
magic on the ice.
Had my people reach out to his people.
Yeah, why not? Strikes it lovely to Sailor. That's a pretty good kick.
Yeah, it's 2 in a row for Sailor.
Nicely struck. Anyway, 44-0. 15.5 still remaining. We see a wealth of players coming onto the park now for the Seagulls.
I hope there's some counting going on. Can we make sure there's only 13?
Well,
3 came on. I only saw all this. Yeah, there's 5 that's come off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, here we go. We're right.
We need the count.
We need to count. I need someone. Have we got a calculator handy?
Milton will get things underway. Let's just take your shoes off again. So here they come again, the Broncos. Seagulls. Well, they've certainly been trying their best in defence here, but just expansive style of footy from the Broncos. Fitness is certainly starting to take its toll on the Seagulls. Not their enthusiasm. They're trying as best they can to try and stop this Broncos side. Have been looking very, very structured in what they've been doing, especially considering the number of changes they've had throughout the game. Is with Horn, Takura, the 10 and the 13. Takura and O'Ofu have been absolutely outstanding for the Broncos. As Horn gets, quick hands here. They can juggle a cat and a chainsaw, these 3. Outstanding stuff. They go to the right-hand side here with a Hearn. Puts a kick in. It's going to go high in the sky here. Flying in the air in the end was Leota. He's going to come up with a knock on, but the Seagulls will end up with a 40. But, gee, that's quick hands there from Jack Ahern and co.
Beautiful hands there. Ahern to Campagnolo through Horn. Again, Horn, as soon as they've moved him into dummy half, he's done really well. Wouldn't be surprised if Liam Horn becomes an option for Kevy later on this year, possibly in and around Origin period. He'd look really good in that 14 jersey. He can play anywhere in the forward pack, can also fill in at 9. Pretty crafty as well. You don't lose anything by putting him in that hooking position.
Last tackle, says the referee, for the Seagulls. They get to a completed set, which is handy. Lacquer is the man that says 14 on my score sheet there for the the Seagulls. The kick away.
Ahern. I think Ahern might actually be playing fullback at the moment. Sailor's come off for a well-earned break. He's been one of the best at the park today.
He's jumping in at number 9 a lot here, Jack. This is the second time he's gone into dummy half. There is no fullback at the moment, but the ball in hand, they don't need to have one as yet. Penalty, another penalty. This is on the halfway line. High shot.
Wouldn't be surprised come Monday morning, maybe in a fortnight or so, we do see a couple of players from this trial upgraded from trainer trials, possibly to full-time contracts. Yeah. There's been some really, really good performances today in this baby Bronx side.
What do you think of the NRL preseason trials, mate?
Yeah, well, this is the first one, isn't it?
No, with the NRL teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to all that kicking off. I'm really excited for that preseason challenge. Adds a little bit of excitement to February footy.
Yep. When it's nice and cool.
Nice and cool in February. That's how we like it here in Australia.
So the Seagulls have given up their 30th penalty in a row, it would seem. They just seem to be leaking penalties and just giving the ball back here to the Broncos. Liam Horns at dummy half. They go to the blind side and trying to get a few more metres there was Rogers. He's going to lose the footy. He's going to go backwards, and the referee will say knock on. And it'll be scrum feed now to the Seagulls, who are certainly sucking in the big ones here at BMD Cougar Island. I can see James Robinson out there. His debut at cup level last year. I think it's the Northern Pride. And still got the Basil Foley moustache. He mightn't be big, but I'll tell you what, his heart's massive. Man called Otto.
Can't fit it in the jersey.
Can't fit in the jersey. Scrum feed won by the Seagulls. They have been better in this second stanza. Oh, hello, Wall. Well,
it's Ferguson and Horn. Great contact.
Big con. Fadafili, penalty inside the 10. So there, they've broken the run of penalties against themselves, the Seagulls.
Foxwell trying to play on the up and up, quick football. Oh no. Jeez, I thought that was going to be ruled tap and lost.
Coach Matt Head might go back to Dapto if that had been the case.
Yeah, he'd
give up.
Gone.
Well, I've got to say, my mother always said, if you haven't got something nice to say about anybody, don't say anything at all. Well, I think that was the case. Matt
makes commentary hard sometimes.
It will, yeah. Matt Head might say nothing in the sheds, and I think he might just leave it to the players, try and work out where it's. So it hasn't been all ugly with C. Robinson. There have been moments, just obviously hanging on the footy. It's a Host Plus Cup side up against an NRL side. So professionals against semi-professionals. You expect the Broncos to play well, but the Seagulls, just the basics have let them down as well, not only just against a formidable side. Yeah,
ball control has certainly been an issue, and the penalty count.
And you have control over that.
You do have control over those things. So, yeah, it gives both those patrols a 4, John. Get an idea of combinations, get an idea of who's in what sort of form for round 1. This is the first showing for both of these sides, so you don't win premierships in February, that's for sure.
Well, one thing, how long have we got to go? 10 minutes. Now, here's the kiss of death right now. Trials. The biggest curse you'll ever see in a trial is a player getting injured and getting rubbed out. We saw it with Pat Templeton many years ago against the East Tigers back then over at Totally Workwear Stadium, and hopefully that doesn't happen in any trials and any matches. Obviously, the Dolphins take on the Cutters tonight up at BB Prince Stadium. Is it no, it's at Gladstone, isn't it?
Yeah, it's against the Capras.
Yeah, Capras.
If any player gets injured in these trial series and they want to find where John Devine lives, you let me know, because I'll be more than happy to give up that address.
You know where I live. It's number 14, David Longland Correctional Centre. You can catch me there all weekend. Goose step. Lovely goose step there from Takura, but gets tackled there from the defence of the Seagulls. Not the last tackle. Puts the kick in. Turns around to Lita, and that will find touch. A couple of cramps starting to come in. Don't do a hammy, please. Now we've got a number 1 out there for the Seagulls. That is not Matt Milson.
It's not Matt Milson. I can confirm it's not Matt Milson.
Anyway. I need to invite all these guys around for lunch so I know who they are. But anyway, Blacker. Seagulls.
Jack Ahern filling in the fullback duties here for the Broncos at the moment.
Well, the referee asked them to go back on side 3 or 4 times. Straight away, he gives a penalty. He did ask them. And Foxwell, I don't think he's out there. Is Kyle not out there, obviously, otherwise he would have taken the kick.
In the middle here. Up here.
So we've got 2 number 14s out there. How good?
No,
we haven't. We've got 3 number 14s out here for the Seagulls.
3 number 14s.
What are the chances?
Hey, isn't this your gig? You know all the Seagulls boys. What's doing? You can pull Matt ahead aside and have a conversation at the end of this game.
Hey, I've also got a cameraman in my way. I've got you to my left. I can't see anything. Seagulls.
Clowns
12
to the
out
left,
from the trial line.
Jokers to the right.
Looking for a first points of the afternoon against the Broncos. Can the Broncos hold their defensive line intact? 44-0 on the Barton scoreboard. Seagulls. Through Simu.
Show and go.
That's the trial last tackle now, says the referee. The Broncos hanging on. Dart from dummy half. He might have scored the try. The referee's going to award the try. Seagulls score in the end here to the number 3. And the chook pen erupts. You might be able to hear it through the effects mic. They've waited all afternoon. They've had to wait 70 minutes. There you go.
Now we know footy's back.
Well, the sleeping giant that is the chook pen has been woken. 2 darts from dummy half. And the second one comes up with a 4-pointer for the Seagulls. We look on the BMD replay. Just popped the defence in the air there and goes over and scores a try. As number 3. It's definitely not.
Can we get an updated team list so we can give number 3 the respect he deserves?
3 defenders there from the Broncos, unable, so they've scored. And he's going to take the kick for goal as well with the 3. The Chook Pen's happy with that as well. 44
Why not?
points to 6.
Why not? May as well score all the points for Wynnum. So still 5 minutes to go here. The Broncos need to be careful not to clock off. They've had a very strong game throughout. So they need to ensure they really attack these last 5 minutes and don't let complacency creep in, because a try from dummy half does seem to be a little complacent for the standard they've put out already today.
Could be Ethan Malt, number 3. I could be wrong. Horn to get things back underway. Just over 5 minutes remaining here at BMD Cougar IL. Well, almost a mix-up as the fullback takes it out of hands in front of Fatili. So a little bit of spring in the step here now from the Seagulls. Robinson smashes over the 20, loses the footy. Well, kiss of death right there. Robinson comes up with an error. The Broncos will have the footy, 25 out. Do we see a similar scoreline at Marley Brown tonight between the Dolphins and the Capras?
Yeah,
interesting.
Possibly.
Mind you, though, we've on Queensland League scene, which we've been we had last year. The Capras were certainly the standout side of the whole season. For the cattle they had, I thought they were absolutely outstanding in the Host Plus Cup last year.
Yeah, they did really well. The Capras, a real strong story there, coming out of Rockhampton and Gladstone for season 2022. They've got the Dolphins on board this year as a partner, so they will get a few players back from that affiliation on a week-to-week basis, which can only make them stronger. Of course, Bailey Butler played a lot of football, all his football for the Capras in 2022. He's been given a call-up to the Indigenous All-Stars team to play next weekend. So if you're looking for some footy after this, cast your eyes over there to Gladstone to watch.
Whoa! Big shot! Hello, Wall. Well, Riddell has come in and put an absolute bell ringer on the try scorer. He's got the footy now. He doesn't know he has the footy because he just got cleaned up. But anyway, play-ons with Cowley. And Cowley gets whipped to the ground. That's the 40-metre line. The Seagulls, they got to spring their step. They got 6 points on the board. It's with James Robinson, and Robinson pops it out the back here, keeping it alive, the Seagulls. Now with the number 19, he's trying to get a little bit further along the line there is Ward. Seagulls.
6 again, Seagulls.
Here we go. Prop forward has a crack towards the try line. He's going to get close. Metre short. Ahern, one of the markers. The big fella, Sideshow Bob with the hairs, got across the line here. Fatili comes up with a try, back-to-back tries here for the Seagulls.
Well, they're turning it on, aren't they? The Seagulls, you can hear the chook pen go off. KS Fatili, I thought he's had a strong game in the middle of the park for Wynnum while he's been on a colt last year, probably looking to make his Host Plus Cup debut in season 2023. And what a strong start for this young man.
Oh, there's a little bit of joy for the Seagulls. Back-to-back tries. And the Seagulls, well, 2 minutes remain. They'll get the ball back.
I believe that's Grant Haggai that's converted that one. So the Seagulls, they do get a couple points away. I believe this is an improvement on last year's scoreline, John, if I'm not wrong.
I think they only got the cross once, and the Broncos did put 50 on. It's not over yet, but there's still just under 2 minutes going. Fatili, well, he ran back. The chest is out. Look at him down there. He's hoping the ball goes in the hands of the fullback, and he wants to have a run. He's on almost pushing off the sight screens down there at the Leagues Club head, right underneath the brand new scoreboard as Jack Ahern gets things underway. We'll go that way. Short kickoff. It's gone the 10. Been touched by a Seagulls player and into touch, so the Broncos will get a scrum feed.
With 1:20 on the clock, you can tell Tristan Saylor has a pep in his step. He wants more points. Thirsty for football.
Been touched by a Seagull, so it'll be just a changeover. Not a scrum. My apologies.
60 seconds on the clock. Can the Seagulls hold out?
Horn, dummy half. Dell. Patili, the tackler, 1 of 3. 12 out from the chalk. Western end of BMD Cougar Eye Oval. Forwards combining. Campagnolo gives it to Ahern, who's that gone to fullback. Or has he? With Sailor out there. Campagnolo waiting for it at first receiver. Gets it, has to crouch to pick it up. Finds a forward to Kuru. He in turn gives it off to Liam Horn, who wasn't really expecting it. He thought he'd be a dummy half. Anyway, Jack Ahern will move into dummy half on the 20. 20 seconds remaining on the Barton scoreboard. Campagnolo hangs onto it. Rogers puts it. It's been played out. Play on. 6 to go, says the referee. 10 seconds remaining. 2 plays left, you would think, here for the Broncos. They come to the blind side. Back the other way. Ahern. Flat pass, finds a flat-footed Bayliss, and Bayliss will stand in the tackle, and that might be all she wrote. And you'll find the Hooter will call full-time here, trial between the Brisbane Broncos and the BMD Wynnum Manly Seagulls, and a 44-12 win for the Broncos. Seagulls scored 2 at the back end here, but, well, a lot to like about the Brisbane Broncos and a lot of work for the Seagulls to do, but that's what trials are all about, Taylor Brown.
Yeah, the baby Broncos came out here this afternoon to BMD Cougar Eye Oval, and they put on a clinic in the start of this game. Looked very strong throughout the whole 1 to 20 that they rolled out. The whole back line, Saylor, Leota, Kwai Ward, Mariner and Johnson all got 4 points next to their name. Smoothie, of course, opened the account when he darted out from dummy half for his try. Campagnolo and Will Samuel also scoring tries for the Broncos. Rogers, 4 kicks, Tristan Saylor, 2. It was a very strong showing. They looked good across the park. There were some strong defensive efforts again on the edges. Kwai Ward and Mariner were great there. I thought Logan Bayliss had a really good game through the middle with Bentakura. But for me, Shalom Ofoa, he's the standout. What a game he's had and what a future he has as well.
Yeah, he was outstanding. And also, I've got to special mention to Liam Horn when he was out there. I thought he was quite good as well. Everybody on the bench, Jack Ahern, Rogers did well in the first 25 minutes as a halves combination. So I thought it was, it was a lot of stuff to take out here for Kevy Walters. There's a lot of young players there. There's actually some older players. We talked about Jack Ahern. He's not a young man anymore. They brought a few players in who've got a little bit of experience as well. So something they've probably been lacking a little bit to the Broncos in the past. He's just level heads, players who played the game. Jack Ahern, I'm going to speak highly of Jack. He obviously took the North Devils to two grand finals, and he was certainly a standout for mine as well when he was out there. But yeah, well done to the Brisbane Broncos. Seagulls, a lot of work to do. Probably just go back to the basics. But as we said, they're a semi-professional side. They've come up against a professional side in the Broncos. They've got a little bit of work to do on the basics, and they'll be better for it when they take on the Brisbane Tigers, which will be here at BMD Cougar Eye Oval. Seagulls up against the Tigers in 2 weeks' time. Get your tickets, get down here and support the Seagulls. A lot to like about that. And also, I'm going to get a GoFundMe page to find an extra few jerseys so we don't have 3 number 14s out there, Taylor.
Yeah. If we can help out the Wynnum Club as much as we can and get everyone their own jersey, that'd be outstanding.
It's for my only benefit. Otherwise, we go back to shirts and skins. That's just the way it has to be, unfortunately. But anyway, full time here at BMD Cougar. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Taylor Brown, thank you. Thank you to Jaden Bowen. Thank you to you, myself as well. I thought I'd give myself a pat on the back here. And thanks to Tom Cosgrove and the Seagulls. We're back in 2 weeks' time. Have a great weekend. And again, tune in and just check out the Dolphins up against the Capras this evening. See you later, big fella.
See you, mate.